beer, rum, and rock and roll.
Welcome back, rock fans. It's another edition of Beer, Rum, and Rock and Roll. How you doing, man?
I need to just decompress just for a second.
There's always the big exhale.
Just came, funny you said that because I noticed that too. I got to be happier.
That's what the rum's for.
That's what the rum is for, and I need it.
Okay, before
But
we
I'm
get...
good. Hold on. Can I ask how you're doing?
I'm rock solid, man.
Beauty.
Yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Good.
Hey?
Me too. And I'm happy now. I feel like I'm decompressing at a very fast rate.
I got a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those
Yeah,
times are good. But,
yeah.
So we'll make the most of it tonight.
That's right.
I'm sure we will. Yeah.
Okay, before we get right into things, I just want to say, if you're watching the show, subscribe. Let us know what you think. You know, get involved. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, totally.
Whether it's good or bad. Let's get into it.
Well, let's start talking. Yeah.
Okay. Rock news. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees Def Leppard just announced a European and Canadian tour. Now, these guys, in my opinion, are right on the edge of over-touring. They've been here 2015, 2017, now 2019. That's where the money is, I get it, but it's just on the edge of, it's just, okay, we'll see how the ticket sales go. But you can over-tour, is what my point is.
True, but it really is the thought in the industry now.
Oh, yeah.
That you're not making money selling records.
No.
Or songs or anything. Your music is going out there. And if you make a penny, great.
Yeah.
But you're touring, you're selling merch, you're getting in front of your fans. It's happening. That's the way they're making their dough.
Yeah, but you can overdo it. Now, speaking of that, The Who also announced, or I like to call them the two, because you're down to two.
Right.
Daltrey and Townsend, and let's face it, that's enough. Right?
That's enough for The Who.
Yeah, so they announced they're going out on the road again, promoting their first album in 13 years. It's called the Moving On Tour, which you could interpret a lot of different ways.
Right.
Are you moving on?
They're kind of a cheeky little band, with the Who's next, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
I think maybe they're saying something in there.
No, the other thing that's interesting about that, the concert,
Moving on.
or in the tour, like it's in the fall. So here's the other little thing about, okay, that's where the money is, yes. Tickets go on sale earlier and earlier because they want your dough now.
Right.
Because a lot of other bands are going to be announcing shows. They want your fucking money up front. So this concert in Calgary, for example, isn't until October. And tickets are on sale right now.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But I see it. They're looking for every way to get the dough.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it was. It's a way different world, man. So you roll with it. Hey, if you get to see your band that you love, what's the harm?
Exactly. Well, for me, it's
what's the real problem? You know, if you're a Def Leppard fan and they're coming to your town every 2 years.
2 isn't bad. I'm just saying it's always the dough. Oh, it seems like they were just here. It's another $150. I mean, that's how people think, right?
Right.
And you'll start to see if they overdo it, ticket sales will fucking lag, man. It happens. The next thing on my mind is this book, Motley Crue, The Dirt.
The classic.
Now, you're saying to yourself, well, that's fucking old news, Randy. My point is,
And I am.
they finally have a release date for the biopic based on this book.
Okay. Which if they do it like they should do it, it should be pretty gnarly. A pretty gnarly little show.
Netflix, March 22nd is the release date on this.
This year?
Yep.
Wow.
This fucking movie has been in production since 2006. It's been a difficult road for Nicky and the boys to get this thing done.
Is he spearheading that? Do you know that? He seems like the guy that would be most level-headed to handle this kind of undertaking.
I like that. He's in control of Motley Crue and in control of that brand.
And every time you see him now, he seems pretty level-headed.
Yeah. And this is a guy who needs creative outlets, so I don't know what he's going to do after this movie's released.
Right.
Who knows? I got a quote for you, though.
But Netflix, March 20, what?
March 22nd. Oh. Yeah, and we'll review it on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Guaranteed. My first thought was, why Netflix? Like, is it not good enough for the theater? But that's not really the case these days, man. Like, you can get quality shit, obviously, we've all seen on Netflix, so take that for what it is. But Vince Neil posted this on Twitter, and I quote, "Wow, just left Netflix offices, just saw the Dirt movie, fucking awesome. Can't wait for everyone to see it." Now, he wouldn't be saying that if it sucked. They wouldn't release it if it sucked, I think. Like,
for sure.
These guys...
They can find any excuse in the book to say, you know what, it's not happening.
Yes.
Done. If it...
Right? Like,
but if he's publicly going out on his personal Twitter account saying, this is good.
And there's certain bands, Iron Maiden, Kiss, where they don't put out things that suck, usually. Mm-hmm. Like, they have a brand they want to protect. And I would be shocked if this thing wasn't at least good. The director is the guy who was involved with Jackass on MTV. Like, not the movies, but this TV show, Jackass. And I think he did the one Bad Grandpa, which is a Jackass production too, right? Okay. So he's the one directing it.
Is there a comedic element to this thing, you think? Or is it...
Well, I mean, I found a lot of the book funny, so I don't know. Who knows?
Wow.
And the cast is basically no names. Like, if you looked at the resume, yes, they've been in stuff you might have seen.
I think that's probably more important.
And that's smart.
I think so, too.
You don't want to be thinking,
we're agreeing on that one. Yeah.
The other thing that people are buzzing about is the boys have been in the studio with Bob Rock. They recorded 4 songs for the soundtrack.
With Mick?
Oh, yeah, all 4.
Okay.
So people are like, oh, fuck. The End tour ended in 2015, and they signed that we're never going to tour again contract.
Yeah.
And I hope that's all true. But, man, the clock's ticking to see what's going to happen here, right? Because are they going to record these 4 songs and that's it? So I got another quote for you. Again, this is Vince. "For those of you who don't understand, yes, the boys means Motley, and we signed a contract not to tour anymore. We never broke up or said we would never make music again, however. Hope this clears it up."
They're not touring.
I hope not.
No.
Because they're the one band, they went out at the peak of their fucking powers. That tour was incredible. Right. The show is unreal. If that is truly the end, I mean, I hope it is. If it's not, then it's just, you just feel duped as a fan again.
Right.
So I hope that doesn't happen, but it's cool that we're going to hear new music, though. That's cool.
Just every time I've seen Vince lately,
it's not good.
It's questionable why I want to even care.
Well, on that note, I'll just keep quoting shit. I'll just keep quoting Twitter feeds. Mm-hmm. Nicky, I'm listening to the roughs of the new Motley Crue, and it feels real and raw. Everybody's playing like mad, and the songs crush. But then he has this little mysterious little...
At the end.
Sentence. Plus, we have a surprise that will confirm that we're out of our minds. No idea what that means.
But he mentioned nothing about the vocals.
He says it's badass, the song. So Vince is obviously singing up to par. He could drop about 100 and whatever pounds. But anyway.
But that little cryptic thing at the end.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? And I'm sure he thought about his word choices when he was writing it.
Oh, no doubt. But hey, let's face it. He's like Gene. He's a hype fucking master. So this is all feeds into the movie. It feeds into it. It's all that.
Yeah. And
we're talking about it. Okay, speaking of biopics, we are now going to review the Queen biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Nice. Hey,
I don't even
it's
know
like
if
you knew that was going to happen. Now here's how this is going to go.
Lee, you are forceful tonight. You are.
I'm bossing you around.
Okay,
tonight.
all right.
You're going to start, and I'm not going to say shit until you say I'm done.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go.
Okay.
All right, we're going to try this.
All right.
Are you
Okay.
ready?
Okay.
Go.
Okay. Let's set the stage.
Sure.
We get our wives. We go to a theater
Yes,
to
we
watch
did.
Bohemian Rhapsody. I did absolutely no research on this film. I didn't know anybody that's in it. I don't know who directed it. I just knew it was coming. I knew it came out. We finally found the time to go watch it, and we did. So I'm a virgin in that seat based on what I'm about to see.
Right.
We were sitting very close to the screen, so it was big, and just the power of Queen kind of just came on heavy as soon as I saw some of the footage. And I'm not going to tell what's in the footage. It's just,
Sure.
We're there. So I'm watching this, and then I see the lead actor who's playing Freddie's role in this biopic.
Rami Malek.
What's his name?
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek.
Yeah.
And I've never really seen this
No, me
face
neither.
before.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell you if I had or hadn't.
Yeah.
And I'm right away trying to just draw the similarities between the two. And that lasted all of about maybe 2 minutes. And the good thing about it was that there wasn't a whole lot of action going on that made me want to really, I had the opportunity to kind of process this information.
Right.
Which is interesting in a biopic and not a documentary. You want to be immersed into the characters and their experience.
Yeah.
Because that's why you're there. I want to feel what Queen or see what Queen went through or what they did. And watching this guy, knowing it's not Freddie Mercury, but feeling it's Freddie Mercury, I just really got sucked in.
Right.
And then I saw Brian May, and I'm like, that's Brian May. I think he played his own role in this because this guy was spot on to me.
He really was.
The way he moved, the way he talked, this hair, everything.
His voice.
His voice. Exactly.
I know I said I wasn't going to interrupt, but
yeah, shut up.
his voice was unbelievable.
Are you done?
Okay, go ahead.
Good.
All right.
Yeah, it was.
Stick to my own rules.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
This is just me, but there was a lot of live stuff at the end.
Live Aid.
This is Live Aid, yeah.
Yeah.
And the live stuff where at that point, yes, it's a biopic. I would have rather have not seen them play those roles on that stage when that's accessible to me as an owner of the Live Aid concert and stuff. It just cut to the power of that, and you could have done that, but it was so much of that acting it out, where they're acting out the stuff that I don't know, but the stuff that I can see and visualize immediately in its reality.
Right.
I wanted to go there right away, and that kind of left me a little not bummed or anything. The show was amazing. It was just like I wanted to go home and watch it. And I couldn't give a shit about what I just saw them recreating because I can watch the real deal at home.
Gotcha.
So that's just kind of the weird.
So it could have
thing.
Ended right there.
It could have ended before. It could have ended him walking out with his back to you, walking out onto that stage, and then
fade.
Great, go watch Live Aid.
Okay. Okay.
But it was great to go to the theater. It was really great to hear it loud, big. Except for, and I'm going to leave this for you to talk about.
Yeah.
Our experience in the theater with the patron. You're expecting this immersive experience, and you're going to get pulled away by some idiot in the audience that wants to express himself loudly as his response to the film, and just talk to himself basically, and talk to the screen. And you want to say something, but you don't, and we didn't. And it just took me away a couple of times, But go on. I'm done. I loved it.
So thumbs up.
For sure. You should watch this. Absolutely.
Well, just because you ended that way, I'm going to start with this fucking idiot at the theater. Like, he's the reason I don't go to movies anymore.
Right.
I can't remember the last movie I've been to.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this is a Queen movie. I'm going to this fucking movie. Well, this idiot He thought he was at a concert.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, with a loud
And-
bunch of voices around him.
And this is on me a little bit. I'm the guy, if there's somebody snoring and he's stopping and starting, I'm just going to sit there and listen for him to start again.
Yeah.
So like it's fucking
You're waiting for the next time.
dude.
Yeah.
Super annoying. Okay, that aside, it
Okay.
did not ruin the experience for me, but
No.
what a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Too bad.
Don't talk at the movies, people. Don't talk.
Turn off the phones. Don't talk.
Turn off the phone and shut the fuck
Hey,
up.
you know what?
for
If
2
you got a
hours.
popcorn bag, like try to not crinkle it
Oh, dude.
as like some sort of anxiety thing or
Oh, now we're into it.
oh yeah.
Rip the once you're half that way down the popcorn,
Yeah.
rip the fucking bag in half and then
Yeah.
keep going. I
Yeah.
don't know. Whatever you got to do.
And don't have to dig for that special kernel that you know is in there somewhere. Like just grab a little bit, eat it quietly, move on.
Oh, Andrea was dying. The guy behind us. Like, when's he gonna finish this fucking
Right?
popcorn? Anyway,
And it's a frequency that is just piercing. It takes over everything.
dude, this is why I don't leave the house.
Yeah.
People are fucking idiots. Okay. Well, that was a nice sidebar. I like that little rant. Okay. My review is as follows.
Okay.
I'd seen the trailer. That's
Right.
it. And I knew who the director was, but that doesn't really matter. And I had this feeling after watching the trailer, I knew what the tone of this movie was going to be. This is not going to be a fucking tell-all documentary, which I would prefer, actually.
Right.
I like docs compared to biopics, but they're two different things. So I knew this is not going to be super edgy, and I knew what the numbers were, too. This thing has made $1 gazillion. That does not happen if you're making...
If it sucks.
if it sucks, or
Yeah.
you're making something super edgy that's
Yeah.
not for everybody.
Right.
That doesn't happen either. So I knew they're going to be getting out the big brush a little bit, right? It ticked all the boxes that I expected it to tick off. Like, it's going to celebrate their music. So you get how they made Bohemian Rhapsody and how they made Another One Bites the Dust and how they, like, there was like a little greatest hits that'll connect the dots through the movie.
For sure.
Perfect.
A bit of a formula.
Yeah. And you get that sense of Freddie's torment, right? Where there was coming out as being gay and his isolation to do with that and being in a big band. Like he had some struggles. And I felt like Rami Malek really captured that as well as imitating Freddie to a fucking T. Like the way he walked, the way he moved, he had it down, man. It went beyond mimicking somebody is really the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Like he really did he made the movie for me. On the negative, I felt a couple moments it got a bit cheesy.
I agree.
Just little, and these are little things, but like during the Live Aid concert bit at the end, there were some cheesy cutaways to fans. Like the guys up in the lighting rig or whatever.
I know.
Practically high-fiving each other. I thought, geez, I don't think you need that. And again, these are little things
Yeah.
that don't ruin the movie, but it had a bit of cheese in it, which I could have lived without.
It was afternoon special,
Right?
after school special.
A little bit.
Yeah. Which, to me, is the only negative that I really, really reacted to. And I knew you were going to talk about it, so I didn't want to get into it, but
I like to say
too critical.
it succeeds despite its flaws,
For sure.
whatever they are.
And if that appeals to a master audience that gets to experience Freddie Mercury and
Well,
Queen.
that's the other thing. I mean, it clearly felt like, to me, and this is not a criticism, they're trying to introduce Queen to another generation of fans. There's no doubt about that.
Sure.
And I'm sure it already has.
Sure.
There is no doubt.
Well, they got a new singer that's still touring and they're doing the thing.
Well, when you're making that kind of dough, though, on this movie, these aren't just Queen fans going to this movie.
No, for sure.
There's no way.
For sure.
I disagree with you on the Live Aid part. Because historically, that was such a pivotal moment in their career. I was looking forward to seeing that. I know you can watch the real thing, but I wanted to see how well they could pull it off. And fuck, they did. Like,
That's the problem.
He
for
fucking
me.
nailed it.
I know this part.
But you need the payoff. You can't just have him walking out, fade to black, to me.
That's
You
how the
can't.
film started.
Right. So you
Would have been
knew
a- would
when
have
it
been-
starts that way, you know they're not going to end that way. You know they're,
Why couldn't they? That would have been
no.
that would
I
have been
disagree.
a nice little bookend for me.
No.
And me personally, go home, watch Freddie. It was amazing.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not saying it's as good as the real thing.
Yeah.
But as in the movie, I want to see it.
Okay.
I'll give you this. They didn't have to do the entire fucking thing. They did.
And they did quite a bit of it.
And you know what's funny about that, though, Beau, is I don't know if you know this. That's the first scene they shot.
Really?
Yep. The first thing Remy Malek did as Freddie was that. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
No, I agree, because he
awesome.
would have been prepared well before the camera starts rolling on a picture
of
like
course,
this.
but still.
So why not? You know what? I want to be Freddie. This is Freddie.
Yeah, but this is the pivotal moment of the movie, and that's your first scene? That's some pressure, dude.
True.
I like how big it looked with that big aerial shot.
Sure,
It's the payoff, man.
Yeah.
It's the money shot, as they say.
It was a payoff when you go home and go crank it up and watch the true genius do it, man. It's crazy.
I mean, what a set. What was that, 3 or 4 songs? It is just incredible when you go see the real thing. It's just, oh, man. And they were last minute on that bill. A couple other things I want to mention to do with this movie. It was really cool to see Mike Myers as that record executive. And for me, here's why. Because this is a guy who used Bohemian Rhapsody, the song, in Wayne's World and gave their career, that one scene in that car there that everybody knows, boosted Queen's career. People don't realize that.
Cool thing to me. Maybe cool is not even the right word.
Right.
Maybe it's just more, I get it and I understand it and appreciate it, is that the bass player, John Deacon, as soon as Freddie was no longer in Queen, he was no longer in Queen.
He dropped right out of music.
End of story. Interesting.
Yeah.
That just, you don't see that.
I don't know if he's at home counting his money. I don't know what he's doing, but he's not in music.
He doesn't probably need to.
No. Yeah. I think it's cool that he did that.
Yeah, very cool. Anyways, that's cool. If that's the right word. I get it.
I get it. The other little nugget, I read this, is the guy who plays John Deacon is the kid from the first Jurassic Park. That's him.
The kid being chased by the T-Rex is him. And he's playing a guy that is 70.
Who's a dinosaur.
Who's a dinosaur.
I just came up with that right there.
Wow, that was very impressive.
That's a skill. Okay, the final thing on this Queen movie is all the money it's made.
Yeah.
You know as well as I do, there's going to be a bunch more. In fact, there's already an Elton John biopic called Rocket Man coming out this summer.
Right.
So where there's money, there'll be more biopics.
Yeah.
I don't know who else they're going to do, but you know it's coming.
Yeah.
And the trailer to that Elton John movie looks really good. So I hope it's as good as the trailer is. So
that's one thing about Elton John is you have to be in the mood for him visually. I don't think you need to, right?
I don't know why that struck me as funny. In the mood for him visually. Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah, I guess.
I do.
You don't always want to see him sing?
No. Your song, I can just listen to that song and how kind of weird it's in and out of time and just the whole thing.
Do you think he hates that song? He sings that song, or he has, I know this, every concert he's ever done since the beginning, he sang that song.
He would have
every single fucking one.
Right. Hey,
I don't know what point that makes you
you write a song like that speaks to that kind of mass.
You have to sing it.
You have to sing it.
All right.
Otherwise,
fair enough.
That's what they're spending their money on.
It's his free bird.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You have to do it.
Can you imagine if they didn't do that?
Thank you. Good night.
Did Zeppelin ever do a concert that didn't include Stairway to Heaven?
Oh, there would be, yes. There'd be a riot on the fucking streets. Oh, man.
Of course.
This is a complete and utter fucking sidebar, but there's a part of my personality that would love if that happened. I don't know if I've got a rebellious streak or whatever, but I went to see the Black Crowes kind of at the peak of their powers at Max Bell Arena.
Okay.
Would have been Southern Music Tour, right?
Right.
Sold it out.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was awesome. What song don't they do? And I couldn't have been happier.
Right.
Hard to handle.
Yeah.
Thank you and good fucking night. He might as well have said, if you came here to hear that song, you came to the wrong fucking gig.
Okay.
He might as well have said that, and I thought it was awesome.
Right, but
I
hard
don't
to
even
hard
like
to
it.
handle is not on the same level
not saying it
as
is.
your song or
I'm
Stairway
not,
to Heaven.
I'm not saying that, but it's their biggest hit, and people
Right.
were choked.
Right.
It's now time for the beer, rum, and rock and roll spotlight. We're going to spotlight bands that we think need a spotlight. So they don't have to be new necessarily. They can be
Right.
older bands, not so new bands, whatever. My pick is Skunk Anansie. I can count on one hand the amount of music fans I know that know who this band is.
Yeah.
But I fucking love them. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Okay, so this movie came up before as a reference point. Strange Days, mid-90s.
Right.
Strange Days movie soundtrack.
Mid-90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're on it.
Yeah.
The song was Selling Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this? This is fucking awesome. I've been into him ever since.
They're selling Jesus again. They're selling Jesus again. They want your soul and your money, your blood and your bones. They're selling Jesus again. Selling love to you. Selling love.
They've got a new album out. It's a live album called 25 Live at 25. So it's 25 live tracks. They've been around for 25 years. This might be part of the problem. In North America, we are pretty rigid, I think, when it comes to categorizing music and musicians.
Yeah, we like it to fit into a place, right?
Exactly. It's got
Yeah.
to fit in a little box.
Yeah.
Well, their singer is a tall, skinny, black, bald lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck marketing that in mid-America. This is what I think part of the problem was.
Right.
And her name is Skin. They
Yeah.
wouldn't know what to do with this, right?
Yeah.
That's my theory, and it's bullshit because I'm telling you, well, in Europe, they're huge. And they're awesome, as you know.
They have a way more all-encompassing appreciation for good.
I would agree in rock, for sure.
Right?
Yeah. Well, it goes back to Hendrix. He had to go over to Europe to get noticed. I
Right.
think Lenny Kravitz, the same thing. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
I mean, you look at a festival bill over there.
Yeah.
It's all over the map.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different vibe over there. And I just wish more people knew who this band was.
Right.
Because I would love to see them.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
not
they're
going to
coming-
Europe
yeah,
to do it.
Yeah.
Right? But they tried.
And how many records did they sell over in Canada? I'm not going over there, you know.
Again, there's 6 albums in, man. And like they tried to get traction over here by opening for U2 and Kiss and Bon Jovi and all these bands. It didn't work.
Nothing.
It didn't work.
You're an opening band, and
Yeah. Fuck, her voice. It's just phenomenal. Just
Yeah.
check it out. It's just wicked.
well, we should check it out.
Okay, I want to throw to their latest video, which is it's a live montage of like some of their best live performances, to one of their early, well, I'm going to say hits, but over here,
Hits, yeah.
no hits.
One of their more popular
Yeah,
songs.
dig
Yeah.
the title of this one, Charlie Big Potato. Okay, man, what did you think of that?
Yeah, love it, man. And she's just got this attitude. It's just
She does.
crazy, committed.
Yeah.
Fuck everything.
Yeah.
This is who I am, and I'm going to
Exactly.
show you exactly who I am.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like a black female David Bowie. You know, it's
Exactly.
that's what I kind of see.
She
you
doesn't
know?
give a fuck. There's no question. Yeah, I love her attitude.
Yeah, with some edge. You know?
Okay, man, what's your pick?
It's kind of symbiotic, you know,
Ooh,
in a lot of ways,
symbiotic.
because we're talking about making it in Europe before
Yeah.
getting any traction here, and even then, not getting much traction still. And that's
Right.
why we're talking about these bands.
Yes.
Is Vintage Trouble?
Oh,
Because
love these guys.
okay,
Yeah.
my first ever experienced with Vintage Trouble was I was watching some concert or some concert footage, and I saw this bass player grooving.
Yeah.
Like, he just moves like no other.
Yeah. He's into it.
Right?
Yeah.
In his little suit jacket, looking spiffy.
They're well dressed.
Looking spiffy.
Oh, yeah.
Oddly, I would always forget the name of the band, and I'd forget about them until I saw them again or somebody mentioned it.
Right.
And it was back when we went to see AC/DC in L.A.
That's right.
And Vintage Trouble, this band, is opening for AC/DC. And I'm like, fuck, this is the band. And this is the dude. It's this black singer that's just awesome. And it's like this R&B kind of 50s, 60s throwback with him. But this sound was very kind of fresh.
Yeah. Retro yet fresh.
Retro yet fresh.
Yep.
With a singer that you got to watch.
Oh, dude.
You have to watch this guy. You got a guitar player that's just reeking attitude, kind of cool guitar guy attitude. A bass player that swings like that. And such an interesting band. Like their first record, the Bomb Shelter Sessions.
It's my favorite still, I think.
Well, this is what grabbed my attention was there was up-tempo, groovy tunes.
Yes.
And a singer that was screaming and just jiving, and the whole thing excited me. They got a new record out.
Right.
It was released in November.
EP.
Yeah, it's 5 songs.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called Chapter 2, Episode 1.
Correct.
Crazy name.
Really creative name.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so right away I'm kind of interested in why that is. And I'm checking out the tunes, and it doesn't have the impact yet for me, and maybe I need some more time with it, and that can happen.
Sure.
For sure with music.
Yeah.
It may take you a while to warm up to what somebody's trying to do. And it doesn't mean it needs to be effort. It just means, hey, I want to experience this again, right? Which could very well happen. But the band in itself was just so good to me, and no one knows who this band is, at least in my circles, minus a couple.
Hey, that's why we're talking about them.
Right.
Yeah.
And interesting makeup of the band, like Ty Taylor, the singer. Interesting stuff about this guy.
Right.
He was the voice of Lester Bangs in Vinyl, if you watched that show.
I didn't know that.
He did all the vocals for that character.
Wow.
So he's got that going on besides this. He was a contestant on Rockstar in Excess, so you've seen this guy.
I've seen him then. Yeah,
right. You've seen him.
Interesting.
But now he's with this group of different cats. Like Nate, the guitar player, was a pro skateboarder.
Oh. I'm learning shit today.
But he got hurt.
Okay.
And he was laid up in the hospital, and he picked up the guitar.
Is that how it works? Oh, yeah.
Now I'm going to be, going and opening for AC/DC.
Yeah,
And,
it's just like that.
My life, I'm gifted. Right. I'm gifted. But there was an eclectic mix of weird things that turned into something really cool. And the early stuff still has the pull for me, but it's worth checking out because these guys are very good.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This band is awesome. Like Ty Taylor, it's like you put fucking Jagger and James Brown in a blender.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy is on fire.
Yeah.
He's a ball of energy.
Yeah.
And you're just staring at this, when you see him live, you're just staring at him. What's he going to do next?
Yeah.
Like he's spinning around, he's in the crowd. He's incredible.
He's on his own path, man.
Right?
Yeah,
It's just wicked.
Love it.
Yeah, I have nothing negative to say.
I like it when singers move, man.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Don't just stand there, man. Do something.
Yeah. No, and he's moving.
Now, in case we don't mention Kiss, this podcast, I'm going to.
Okay. Just in case.
Vintage Trouble is managed by Doc McGee, who manages Kiss. So they're frequent musical guests on the Kiss cruises.
Right.
So they're getting exposure there. I had to mention Kiss. You see that?
See, and it's interesting you made Doc McGee because back to the going to Europe thing.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys get together in Hollywood in 2010.
Yeah.
And they all kind of knew each other, but finally kind of found a way to get together in the same room.
Right.
And they put together some stuff, and then they did it in days. They recorded this bomb shelter sessions thing.
In days, eh? That's awesome.
And 5 days, I think, if memory serves. And they get managed. I don't know how this happened, but they get on the list of Doc McGee. And he says to them, we're going to Europe. We're not doing it. Like, they might have done a few shows in
Makes sense
California,
somehow.
but
Yeah.
and that's where they ended up.
Yeah.
And blew up
Yes.
over there.
Well-
Still nothing here,
Yes.
really. They opened for a lot of great bands, like,
I think what's the list? U2, AC/DC, Bon Jovi, and still couldn't get traction over
yeah,
here.
and these bands saw something there
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
They handpick the opener usually.
because they saw it over in Europe,
Yeah,
because that's where they're getting traction.
exactly. But again, like Skunk Anansie, never really got it to the next level, even opening for those bands, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? There's an X factor there. It's just not happening.
Yeah,
But I think they're awesome.
I do. And
Back to your point on Europe. So early on, that first album comes out. They appear on a European music show called Later with Jules Holland, and they do Blues Hand Me Down.
right, which is
This clip-
this is your kind of introduction to this band.
Yes.
Should be this,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's roll it.
please.
Father's a blues man, gave me the blues hand me down. And alligator shoes man gave me the blues hand me down. Moonshine drinking, doing everything but thinking. Blues hand me down. Racing the wrong way, chasing every skirt in town. Taking the
If you don't get motivated by that track,
Oh man.
yeah, you're probably not watching the right podcast
Yes.
or hearing the right podcast, because this is crazy good.
Unreal.
Anyways, love them.
Okay, let's keep it going. Our final entry on the Beer, Rum, and Rock and Roll Spotlight is the Marcus King Band, led by none other than Marcus King.
Right.
A whopping 22 years old, 3 albums deep,
Yeah.
3rd album produced by the producer of such hacks as Chris Stapleton,
Yeah.
Sturgill Simpson,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason Isbell. This guy is dialed.
Yeah. Incredibly talented. They saw it early, obviously, if he's got 3 records.
Yes.
The kid's not going to have money to be going to record a record.
Right. Well, you know who saw it? Warren Haynes.
See?
Warren Haynes from Allman Brothers and Government Mule took him under his wing, signed him to his record label,
Right.
produced his second
Where's he
album.
from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
So how did Warren see him?
Man, you asked some tough questions. I'm not sure.
Was he like live, or did somebody say, hey man, you got to check out this kid?
I do not know that.
Okay.
I just know he was aware of him and took him under his wing, became kind of his mentor.
Interesting.
And what a mentor to have. I mean,
Yeah.
Warren Haynes, fuck, it doesn't get any better than that.
Because you watch the kid and it's like he's been doing it forever.
And it's a similar vibe as
Right.
Warren,
Right. Yeah, no, it speaks to him.
except he's
for
got
sure.
horns in his band. That's what makes it a little bit different.
Which is cool. Yeah,
Of course.
And he travels with them, and it's
Yeah.
part of his sound, and he hears it. Just like Keith Richards always heard horns when he wrote,
That's
and
right.
wanted it in there
Yeah.
on certain things.
Yeah.
But this kid, I mean, he grew up in a very musical family.
Yes.
So he was immersed in that, and it spoke to his soul. Because when you hear this guy say, like, these are soul singers, even
Yeah.
though it's blues-based
Yes.
kind of thing. He's not a pinup boy for anything.
No.
He's
No.
just him, and
Yeah.
he's bigger than life. You know what he looks
Yeah.
like, and
Yeah.
his hat, and
The hat. Yeah.
you believe every second of
Yeah.
it.
He's clearly a sponge, right? His dad was a musician. His grandpa was a musician.
Mm-hmm.
One's more blues based, one's more country. He took jazz in school. Like, he just soaked it all in. And it's the Marcus King Band.
Right.
Like, everything's in there.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
And he plays that 345 of
Yes.
his grandfather's guitar.
Right.
And I heard a story about him concerned about what this guitar means and going on tour, traveling around.
You're worried about it.
Definitely. And so Gibson made him a bunch of replicas so that he doesn't have to worry about that too much anymore.
Well, when Gibson's making you replicas,
yeah,
you're doing okay.
And when I have a couple of I have that Les Paul gold top replica. I mean, they go to some lengths to make sure that
they do.
This is going to sound and react and feel and be like you want it to be, right?
Right.
They got craftsmen there, right? So, anyways, he's doing okay.
He's doing
obviously,
all right.
and I'm glad people are starting to talk about him. You open up a Guitar Player magazine these days, you're going to see him. This the one I read the other day. I mean, he was definitely a feature column because people are talking about him, and he's a great guitar player. Well, but more importantly, he writes really great songs with the horn section. That's one guy's playing the horn and also playing the tambourine. I seen this video, and I'm just like, they're into it.
Yes.
They are into this guy.
Well, I was just going to say, they're into it, and he's the leader.
Right.
And he's 22.
Yeah.
I keep coming back to that, but imagine being that good at anything at that age is remarkable. And like you said, not only is he a phenomenal musician, the songs are there.
Yeah.
Like he's writing some great stuff.
Yeah, 22.
Unreal.
Let's keep that number in top of mind whenever you think about this kid. Well, I think we should play a little bit of this guy.
We really should. Mm-hmm. Let's play a little Ain't Nothing Wrong With That live.
Enjoy.
Let's do it.
Said the rain was falling all around, but you rolled my windows up for me, darling. Didn't want to wake me from the slumber I was in. Instead, you just let me be. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong.
Okay, that was cool. Just wicked.
Another terrible musician that we're showing on this week's podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you're gonna like it. Yeah. I think you're gonna like it.
You can see what Warren saw in that. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. And this guy is just gonna continue to go on this path.
You would think.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's people that are gonna just want to be around that.
Yeah. Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
Okay, is that a wrap?
Yeah, I think so. Episode 7
wrap.
in the can.
I just want to remind everybody that they can also check us out on iTunes, Spreaker, YouTube.
Tune in.
Whatever
Tune in
format
does our
you want.
podcast. Google Podcasts or Google Play Podcasts or something on there.
Google Play too, yeah.
We're on there too.
Yep.
So if you want to watch it or if you just want to listen to it, and please comment. Like, let us know you're listening. Subscribe so that we can interact with you immediately, and you can kind of, it's just a way to stay connected. But also, we just want involvement, and
Totally, man.
and hear what we're doing. So,
And if you want to see full lengths of what we're talking about, check out the descriptions.
and the links, yeah.
And you can see we can't play the full version because YouTube slaps us on the wrist.
Yeah.
You can only play a few seconds. So check out full length versions and let us know what you think.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, man.
So,
Cheers.
till next time, beer,
Rum,
rum, rock and roll, baby.
peace out.